our 20-day block plan, we did ours on invasion games, and we are going to be talking about the different assessments we did for each of the invasion games that we played. We played 4 different games for this unit, and each of the games lasted 1 week.
So for week 1, we did a handball unit. We focused on a cognitive Kahoot assessment and an effective peer assessment.
For week 2, we did polo polo as our second game choice. And for this week, we will be focusing on another Kahoot assessment that is also effective and a psychomotor assessment that has to do with peers recording each of their teammates shooting into a goal.
So for week 3, we did a soccer unit. However, we will not be going over any of the testing in this screencast.
For week 4, we did Ultimate Frisbee, and Ultimate Frisbee is only 3 days because we had to do our round robin and our unit exam all as well. So the one assessment that we will be talking about for Ultimate Frisbee is a psychomotor assessment that has to do with catching the Frisbee with both hands.
So these are unit goals. The first goal is psychomotor, and the students will be able to play in a 3v3 tournament using all the skills they learned throughout the invasion unit. The next unit goal is effective, and the students will be able to demonstrate how to work cooperatively with their teammates in various games and tasks without arguing or having to be spoke to by the teacher more than twice about proper classroom behavior. The third goal is cognitive, and the students will be able to demonstrate the knowledge of moving to open space on the field/court to help teammates progress the ball or object forward during game 2 to score. And the final goal is fitness, and the students will be able to demonstrate cardiovascular strength by playing in a game of 5 minutes without needing a break.
For the first 5 days, we did team handball, as we mentioned earlier. And this is our week layout for team handball. And so the first day, the students will be learning how to keep possession of the ball with their teammates as they organize themselves onto court with at least 2 of their peers. And they'll be playing small-sided games on the first day. On the second day, the students will be working cooperatively with their teammates. So we are mainly focusing on good teamwork, sportsmanship throughout this lesson. So that's one of our big key focuses. On day 3, the students will be able to learn how to move the ball forward, starting from their side of the court and working their way to their opponent's side by passing to their teammates, moving to open space, and just finding that space on the field to the gameplay-like situations. Day 4, the students will be learning how to shoot the ball at the goal. They will be standing outside the arc shooting, because in team handball you cannot enter the arc. And their goal for the day, or objective, is to be able to shoot the ball at least 6 out of 8 times during our practice task. And for day 5, the students will be working as a team to score points during a game, and we really want them to focus on scoring these points during game 2 because they will have a practice test previous that will also have to do with shooting, so we really want them to focus on all they learned all week as they go into game 2. Our assessment that we did with them before we even started the unit is a pre-assessment, and we used Kahoot. This is also a cognitive assessment, and it was teacher-based. So a few examples of questions we have are: how many steps can you take with the ball? And another one is team handball played in teams of 3 on the court. As you can see, they had a variety of true and false and multiple choice for this exam, so we were really able to see which students knew the information and which ones did not. For our effective assessment, this took place every single day. So the students got a piece of paper, and every day they wrote down one thing positive they put down. This is a self-assessment, so this was individual work, last 5 minutes of class. They got this paper. We have a sample off to the side here. As you can see on the first day, for example, I put down I was confused on how to play, I did not touch the ball. So we just want the students to put down either one thing that went really well for them and one thing that didn't go well for them, and just see like how it ended at the end of the week.
So for days 6 through 10, we did a pillow polo unit. So for day 1, the students were able to dribble the ball using their stick across the entire gym, and they were able to control the ball both ways, going forward and backwards. On day 2, the students were able to shoot the ball at the net using proper form, and they were able to determine the amount needed to get the ball into the net, whether they wanted to keep it on the ground or if the ball was able to rise or not. Day 3, the students were able to shoot the ball into the net 3 out of 5 times after receiving a pass from their partner. So they were able to receive the pass and then able to shoot the ball into the net. For day 4, the students were able to restart play without being told, so they got more responsibility and were able to just keep the game flow going. And for day 5, the students were able to work as a team supporting the target player before shooting at the goal. So for day 1, we did an affective assessment done by the teacher, and we used a Kahoot for the testing. And so this is just an example. So this is just an example of a Kahoot. For day 2, we did a psychomotor peer assessment, and this was an informal assessment done by a partner for writing down the material. This is an example of the psychomotor assessment that we did with the students.
That again, Evan. Give me a good setup. I want a good video.
Of what? Just like the shot?
Yep.
Do I have to explain anything?
No.
No.
Three, two, one, breathe! So as a little bit of upward sentence as all of you shooting, I am going to have Shane be the goalie over here at the yellow goal. So we're going to keep doing the practice test, and if you choose, so you want to try to shoot on a goalie, you can try shooting on Shane. Remember, Shane is the only one who can use his feet and the stick.
Also, one more thing, only one shot at Shane at a time. Do not pepper Shane with shots. Have 2 people max around here at a time. 3 people max. 3 people max around Shane at a time. Alright, y'all may begin. Great shot.
For day 5, we did a cognitive teacher assessment that we gave to the students. This is just an example of the assessment. So this is the post-assessment. As you can see, we had some true or false questions, along with some multiple choice, some matching with pictures, a few fill in the blank, and then we ended it with some short answers.
So for days 11 to 15, which was the 3rd week of our invasion unit, we did soccer. And for the first day, the students learned how to pass the ball using the inside and outside of their feet from a partner, and they also had to dribble through cones as well, going up and down the court. For the second day, the students learned how to shoot a ball with their laces as they stood about 8 feet away from the goal, and they had to make 5 out of 8 of the shots during the practice task. For day 3, the students created space on the field from offense and defense as they learned positions by manning up to players and protecting the goal depending on what position they were on or attacking the goal. On day 4, the students played 1v1 situations, and they had to either defend or be the attacker, and it was awesome to see how they moved around and were able to get to the ball and just the space they created just playing one-on-one. And on the 5th day, the students worked as a team by supporting their target player to help score goals. While we did have assessments for this soccer unit, we are not going to be talking about them today, and we are going to be focusing on another assessment from Ultimate Frisbee coming up shortly.
So for the last week we worked on Ultimate Frisbee, and we worked 3 days on Ultimate Frisbee. And for day one, the students were able to throw the Frisbee 3 out of 5 times successfully using both the forehand and the backhand. For day two, the students were able to catch the Frisbee using 2 hands, either using alligator or crab hands. And in day 3, the students were able to move around the field to open space to support other teammates. For day 2, we did a psychomotor peer assessment, and this was done by tallying whether they were able to successfully catch the Frisbee using their alligator or crab hands. And as you can see, these are just 2 examples, one from Liz and one from Evan, of just how they were able to take the test. So here is just a quick example of Liz using her proper form in catching a Frisbee. As you can see, she used her alligator hands to get out the Frisbee. Here we have just a video of some competitive Ultimate Frisbee being played. You can notice how they use proper technique in throwing the Frisbee along with crab hands and alligator arms to catch it.
So our final unit, or after our unit ended, we did a culminating activity at the end, which was a round robin tournament, and the students were placed into various different groups that they stayed with throughout all of these games. And each student and team played 8 5-minute games, which included team handball, polo, soccer, and ultimate frisbee. So it did this in one class setting, and the students were responsible for putting their own scores on the board after each game. So we kind of left it in the students' hands to be responsible, treat the teammates with respect, which went back to one of our unit goals, the effective domain, and we just wanted to see how well the students did together and what they learned throughout the unit by working in teams and using proper teamwork, sportsmanship with their peers, and not always focusing on the winning aspect. However, the team that did get the most points at the end of the tournament was crowned the winners, and they all got a little mini trophy that said Invasion Game Unit Winner.